Good morning everyone, welcome back to today's video. I'm actually really not sure what we're doing in this video, but I figured it's probably time I pull the G7X out and do some filming again. We have Evans here with us today. What's going on, bro?
Good.
Yeah, good man, good. First thing we're gonna do this morning is something I've wanted to do for a long time, probably over a year with the Skyline, and that's install my Recaro seats. The leather wrap Recaros. Just a quick background of how I acquired these beautiful seats was I actually bought a set of red genuine bride secondhand bride seats, or brids if you guys are in Japan, off a friend of mine that was in his Evo, fitted them to the Skyline, but because they were red, another friend of mine saw them and wanted them for his 180SX, and he had these Recaros sitting in his shed. And these are near brand new. I'll give you a quick walk around in a second, but he pretty much said to me, straight swap, and I thought that was a pretty good win for me, considering I had sort of like half beat up brides to trade for some really good condition Recaros. The only problem was they weren't on seat rails. So in the process over the 12 months I've acquired a passenger side rail, and finally I managed to find locally a driver side seat rail. So I believe this is from a 33 GTR, and I cannot remember where that one's from, but yeah, let's have a quick look at the seats. These are really good condition. They're a bit dirty because we've moved house like twice since I bought them. They just need a good wipe down, and they are gonna look so good in the 33. What do you reckon?
The stitching on them just looks unreal, eh?
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, there's no rips, no tears. They're really good nick, and I just like the shape of them. It's very hard for me to like the shape of a certain bucket seat. First and foremost though, focus. First and foremost though, before we crack on with this, because we're gonna have to move the 33 to the middle of the garage so we can get some space to work on either side, we are gonna have a quick look at Evans GTI.
Mark 6 GTI.
Yeah, so look at this thing. Well, I reckon we'll just do a quick little montage of this thing. Who don't really know Darwin weather, there is no 4 seasons of the year. There's wet season and dry season, and for 6 months of the year it's raining, and for 6 months of the year it's not. We're like, what, 2/3 the way through wet season?
Yeah, I believe so.
So
yeah.
Car things, especially if you're in a rear-wheel drive car, very hard to do. It's not really worth it. Well, I was gonna say, what do you reckon the chances of a launch are today, but we can try, but yeah, we'll try and find the dry spot on the road. But
even just in the dry, the launch on this, as you said, I might have to visit Westlake, see if I can get some tires off them, because even in the dry, it's crazy trying to launch this.
Yeah, the Westlake Sport RSs, that's the ones I run on the back of the Skyline. I use the 265s in the rear.
Yeah,
they put the power down really well. So shout out Westlake. Way to describe it. Go-kart.
Yeah,
VW bottle opener. Look at that.
Yeah, and I thought I broke it because it was just stuck in there, but the first time it come out I was like, what? Looked at it twice.
Does that mean Volkswagen's promoting drinking and driving? We don't condone that.
Yeah.
We don't not on this channel.
So you want to go back into park with your foot on the brake.
Yep.
You want to take it back straight into sports.
Yep.
You're going to hold your traction for about 5 seconds till you hear it beep twice. Alright, so that's the second beep. So what you want to do to see if launch control is engaged is just give it a little tap and accelerate. Hold it up. So that's engaged.
Oh, so at 3,000 RPM.
3,000 RPM.
Alright, and just preload it and then go.
Yep. So. Literally can't go anywhere, bro. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
And this isn't stock, is it?
No, so it's... Watch me about to start talking shit, bro. No, anyway, no, it's a... Pretty much, I reckon it's pretty much stock. It's, I believe, on a stage 1 tune.
Stage 1?
Yeah.
So what's supporting mods did you have to do? Or you bought it as it is, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought it as it is off my mate Mikey. So he's done majority of the work. He's had the car since 2011 as well? Nah, 2014. So since 2014 he's had it, and yeah, he finally managed to let it go to me. So he's put coilovers on it, and I believe it's got a stage 1 air intake that comes down through to a 3-inch downpipe all the way through to the cat. So the cat's stock.
Yeah, cool.
That's pretty much it.
Aftermarket tips?
No, stock tips.
Stock tips?
I had aftermarket tips, but to get Reg in the NT I had to change it.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, a little pocket rocket if you ask me.
Well,
nothing compared to my XR6 or anything, but...
Yeah, that's right. You had an XR6 Turbo FG Ute. We won't speak about that yet. Now that we're on the topic of rainy cold weather, we still have a few of these TF & Co limited edition hoodies in stock. Evans is repping the crew t-shirts, so make sure you guys check them out, www.tristanfleetwood.com. I'll leave a link in the description, and get yourself some cool merch. I have some hats coming as well. This isn't one of them, but probably similar color schemes if we can help it. But yeah, make sure you guys check out the merch. Evans is already wiping them down for us. What a legend. I think he's super excited to see these seats in the car as well. As soon as I met Evans and he came over for the first time, the first thing he did was go straight to my Recaro seats in the garage. He'd be like, bro, what are these? What are these? As pointless as it might seem to wash the car today because it is gloomy as outside, I really wouldn't mind swinging by the car wash because I parked it up somewhere and there was a stray cat that just decided that my roof looked like a very comfy spot to camp out for the night. And it left paw prints all over my windows, all down the side of the car and all over the roof. We might end up at the car wash and give it a good clean, do the dishes as well. It's a little bit dirty. So we'll see how we go. See how we go on the time. But first things first, we need to try and fit up this driver's side rail to the bottom of this. Now the problem I've got, I'm gonna have to modify this rail a bit, I reckon, because as you can see, that's how it would sit there. The holes don't quite line up with the actual seat, which means, and you can see down there as well, that they're pretty far off. So if we move that up there, like the more we move it up, we only just have enough room to drill some extra holes, but I'm fairly confident we can make it work. Okay, so before I went drilling holes and cutting and modifying things on the rail, I just wanted to make sure it actually fit and lined up with the factory holes on the 33 to make sure it was going to work for this car. It looks like everything's lining up, so that's a good sign. All four lining up pretty easily. There's no need for extension plates and all that sort of stuff. We're going to have to drill new holes in each thing because none of the four line up, and if we did want to use one of them, it just threw the other three way out beyond the reach of actually being able to drill into this bracket. So we're going to have to drill 4 new holes, which isn't an issue. Bolt them to the seat, and we'll be able to bolt the rail and seat into the car. The passenger side is already good to go, so as soon as Evans is done cleaning, he can probably throw this one in for us. After measuring a few times, double checking, we've got our holes and the rail is finally bolted to the seat. Now this one here, the actual threaded part inside the rail, inside the seat, sorry, is stripped. So I've just gone and put a bolt through, which will give us our 4th point of security. So that's the hardest part done. Good. We can just chuck them in. Let's get at it. Before we forget, we will remove the factory seatbelt buckles from these seats and bolt them onto the Recaros, and we'll be laughing. Wow, this lighting's terrible. I don't know if you guys can see much, but they're in there. We have 2x Recaro leather seats in the Skyline, and they look so good. Let's go test them out, Evans. Let's do it. So seeing as we got some nice fancy new seats in, I have a pair of stock R33 seats. I think one of them's a Series 1, the other one's a Series 2. If anybody wants them, you're more than welcome to have them. They're in good condition still, there's no rips, no tears. If anybody would like to acquire these seats, hit me up on Instagram. I'll leave my Instagram tag below and also in the description. Just shoot me a DM and tell me you would like them. I'll give it 2 weeks and then I'm taking them to the tip. If anybody wants them from 2 weeks that today's video is posted, let me know. Oh my. Look at this. Fresh seats. I love this car so much, hey. It's gonna take a lot for me to sell it one day. One thing I've noticed just driving this to the service station now, this thing needs new brake rotors badly, and also a wheel alignment. I don't know if the tire pressures are a bit low or a bit uneven, but when I hit like maybe, it was just vibrating ridiculously. So if you guys have any idea of what those symptoms are, hit me up in the comments, but I'm assuming it's wheel alignment and tire pressures that are a bit uneven or a bit out, so let me know. Also, something else I noticed driving on the way here is it was boost creeping a fair bit. So what I've gone and done is turn the boost tap down by 1 click. You can see where those markings line up. That's about 17 pounds, so I've just clicked it down to about 15 pounds ish, so we'll see if that helps. I've got a fresh turbo beanie on here, so it's just bedding in and smoking up a bit, but overall, car started first time after not starting for a while really easily, and it's doing pretty well. I'll see if I can show you what I mean by the wobble. Go second or third. Okay, so that's disappeared. So we just pumped the tire pressures to 32 psi each, and that's there. That's just on brakes.
It's not as bad though.
It's not as bad, no, but before when I was taking off, it just went crazy. Before I even got on the brakes, I was on acceleration. It's okay on decel, but when I get on the brakes, which is telling me that I think my brake rotors are a bit warped, so oh well, either way, it sounds good. Just get the AC cranking. By the way, everyone, the AC still works in this thing, if anyone was wondering, and it is mint.
Icy cold.
Icy cold. We'll see if we can do a bit of a launch off the lights here, as much as we can with the manual. So before we end the video off, guys, I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at the new tow rig. So the old faithful Navara is gone, and we picked up this brand new Ford Ranger Wildtrak. It drives and tows so well. I'm very impressed with it. It's the 2-litre bi-turbo with a 10-speed auto. Mixed reviews on them, but so far, from my experience, it's been really good. I won't show you guys too much just yet, because I'm actually planning on doing a bit of a review video for this car. Sort of like a 5 things I like and 5 things I don't like. I'm still getting used to it. I only picked it up a couple of weeks ago, so yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you guys would like to see a video like that, let me know in the comments. Other than that, make sure you guys check out the merchandise, and if you want those R33 Skyline stock seats, let me know. So till then, guys, stay tuned and stay safe.